to break a soul tie. Sex, lies, and ungodly soul ties. In today's video, I'll be sharing 3 steps you can use to start your journey to freedom. So, grab a cup of coffee, a tea, and let's talk. So, Patricia, I hear all this that you're saying. Now, what I really need to know is, how do I break free from an ungodly soul tie? Thank you for asking. I'm glad you did. The first step of breaking free of an ungodly soul tie is confession. Have you ever heard the saying, confession is good for the soul? Well, that's true. James 5:16 says, confess your faults one to another, and pray one for another, that ye may be healed. The effectual, fervent prayer of a righteous man availeth much. In order to break free of an ungodly soul tie, you must confess with your mouth so you can be healed. Freedom comes from confessing, not repressing. Confessing is letting it all out. Repressing is holding it in and replaying that thought in your mind over and over again. And that's what the enemy wants you to do. The second step of breaking free from an ungodly soul tie is submission. Breaking free of an ungodly soul tie takes submitting your will to God. Remember, Romans 7:19 says, for I do not do the good I want to do, but the evil I do not want to do, this I keep on doing. If you don't know how to submit your will to God, then do as James 1:5 says. If any of you lack wisdom, you should ask God, who gives generously to all without finding fault, and it will be given to you. That's the NIV version. Ask God to give you wisdom on how to stop replying to his text messages, how to stop looking at his social media accounts, and then even how to stop wondering where he is and who he's with. I know, because I've been there and I've done that. The third step to breaking free from an ungodly soul tie is protection. Have you ever heard the word boundary? Of course you have. Proverbs 4:23 says, above all else, guard your heart, for everything you do flows from it. The NIV. Guarding your heart, your mind, is why we set boundaries. When you set boundaries for yourself, you are guarding your heart, because he who controls the mind controls the feet. What is a boundary? Well, there are physical boundaries and there are emotional boundaries. A boundary is a property line, and just as a physical fence marks where your yard ends and where your neighbor's yard begins, that would be considered a physical boundary. Did you know your body is property? Believe it or not, because your body belongs to God. And you can read that in 1 Corinthians 6:19. Now, Patricia, what is the purpose of a boundary? Ooh-wee! Girl, you are asking some delicious questions, and I'm eating them all up. First, I want to say, boundaries are not for the other person. Boundaries are for you. Boundaries protect us by keeping good things in, like peace of mind, and bad things out, like emotional stress. When we allow someone else to cross a boundary we set for ourselves, we gain three things. One, we gain stress by taking on their problems because you no longer have peace. Two, we gain limiting beliefs because our decisions become rooted in fear. Fear of what they think, fear of what they say, fear. We gain instability and start living a compromised life. When we enforce the boundaries we set for our lives, we gain three things. See, when you let people cross the boundary line, then confusion happens. But when you hold yourself accountable for the life that you want to live, you set these boundaries and you gain a lot. The first thing you gain is control over your thoughts and emotions. The second thing you gain is confidence in your decisions and your abilities. And the third thing you gain is clarity in your spiritual sight. And that elevates our beliefs. And this is vital because now we start believing we are worth the wait. And guess what? You really are. See, boundaries define what we agree with and what we disagree with. And when the enemy comes with his same old tricks, you can say, he tried it, but he didn't win. So, how do you create boundaries? Another good question. That's a great question. And I'll have to answer that in another video. But to break free of an ungodly soul tie, the first thing is to confess your sin. The second thing is to submit your will to God. And the last thing is protection. Protect your heart, guard it by creating some boundaries so you can keep the wrong things out and only allow the right things to enter. Because remember that scripture says, guard your heart because out of it flows the issues of life. I hope you have gotten something out of this video. Would you do me a favor? Subscribe to the channel, like the video, leave a comment, and if it has blessed you, share it with someone else so it can bless them too. I'm Dr. Patricia Shaw. As a Christian relationship coach, I help lead women to their definition of relationship success so they can find rapture in the warm embrace of love rather than fearing. Until next time, take care.